Hey guys, my name is David Ruff. We're going to be talking today about the mortgages that are going to be triggered in September, October, November, December. We have hundreds of thousands of mortgages that are going to be triggered. Now, we're going to be talking about what's going to happen, what I think you should do, and how you could save yourself some money. All right, let's jump right into the article of the day. The article that we're going to be talking about is this one right here about 80,000 variable rate mortgages that will reach their trigger point by the year end. So, if we jump into this article, you could see this on CanadianMortgageTrends.com. You can go to see that article, and it's called 80,000 variable rate mortgages will reach their trigger point by year end. Now, this is Royal Bank of Canada. In the United States, there are thousands of banks, but in Canada, we mainly have five massive behemoths. They're huge, and almost all mortgages are through them. So this is just through the lens of Royal Bank of Canada. It doesn't take into account Bank of Montreal or TD or Desjardins or Scotiabank. So this is just RBC. So they're mentioning here that Canada's largest bank said that about 80,000 of its variable rate mortgage clients will reach their trigger point in the next couple of rate hikes. What is a trigger point, right? That is the point where borrowers' monthly payments are only covering the interest and are no longer paying down the principal. This is very, very important for you to understand what that means, right? So whenever we have a mortgage payment, the mortgage payment consists of two parts. You may be paying $1,000 on a mortgage payment. Maybe $800 is going toward the principal and $200 in interest. So the bank needs to see that you're paying the interest and you're paying the principal. But what happens if the interest rate goes up so high, that $1,000 is all interest and none of it is going to paying down your loan? That's a problem. And that could trigger a new assessment to put you at a higher rate, and possibly you have to come out with money out of your pocket to pay for the difference. So obviously you have to come up with the difference in the meantime, but they may ask for a lump sum to make that mortgage work. They may ask you for $50,000, $100,000 right away to make the loan rebalance itself. So if we look at this here, that is the problem, is the trigger point. It said fixed rate mortgages, though, still account for more than 65% of their portfolio, they're saying. So that's a lot, right? So they're saying that this is a good thing, that there's a lot of people on fixed rates, which we can say is a very, very positive thing. Also, it says the right down here, their earnings highlight. So they're down 17% year over year, which is they're getting hit, right? They're having home equity lines of credit only went up slightly by $1 billion. But here I found interesting. The average loan to value on an uninsured portion is 46%. So yes, it's going down. It was 49% last year, but right now the loan to value is 46%. So what does that mean? That means a lot of people own their home in cash. People are sitting on an enormous amount of cash in the market right now, sitting in their homes. It's a lot. So they have it. So there's a lot of people on that. That's good. But hearing that there's 80,000 people within RBC that could be triggered, that's a big deal. Okay, so imagine there's five massive banks in Canada, and say that they had 80,000 each. That's now 400,000 homes and households that will run into this re-triggering of the event. If that happens, there are some serious prices that we're going to pay. Already to date, the average mortgage is up $1,073. $1,073. Who has $1,073 just lying around? And not just once, but every single month. Not very many people have that in reserve. Now, if the interest rates go up even higher, which it sure looks that it will, based on the Jackson Hole meetings that they had in Wyoming yesterday, they are saying absolute resolve to crush inflation, higher rates for longer. So everybody that was banking on Fed pivot, where they're going to start reducing their rates really quickly, doesn't look like that's going to happen. Percentage of that happening is like 5% right now. I think it's going to take a while. You're probably going to see it next year, mid-year or something like that. So if this is going to happen, and you could have maybe 80,000 per bank, 400,000 people in all, and all of them, the rates are going to be going a lot higher. They're already paying $1,000 more per month. How much higher? So say it's going to be $1,200, $1,300. I don't know. Do you have $1,300 just lying around every single month as extra money? Probably not. And what happens if you have a reserve fund? Well, maybe you had enough reserve fund, like an emergency for 3 months of expenses. Maybe you could last 3 months. Maybe you could last 6 months. Some really amazing people have a year's worth saved up. Okay. But eventually these extra payments of that, whatever it will be, $1,200, $1,500 more a month, hammering people one after the other. That's when more and more people will default on their homes. As people default on their homes, the homes go into foreclosure, they come back on the market, huge amount of homes on the market, and the prices have to drop because of that. So this happens all the time. If we look historically, it happens every 5 to 7 years. We are just accustomed to it not happening because it hasn't happened in 14 years. The government has been putting this monetary heroin into the economy for 14 years. So we're overdue. We're overdue for like at least 2 of them that we've missed because we created so much cash in the system. So this is going to happen. It's natural. It happens all the time. So what do we have to do? Okay, so if I had a mortgage and it was coming due in the next little time, we've also gone way, 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 way up. Are they going to raise it another 3% next year? I don't think so. So if I've already ridden it all the way up to the rates where they are today and I haven't fixed them yet, I probably would just let it go. Of course, last year I was fixing all of my rates because they said that they're going to raise them. So I'm going to fix them at that point. So if I did have a variable, I would be waiting and writing it out if you haven't done it already. But that's a little bit of a gamble either way. But that's up to you. I think they're going to lower it down maybe next year, but who knows, right? They're probably going to raise it a few more times. They've already said they want to end the year at 3.5% Fed rate, which means they're going to have to raise it at least 2 more times. So it's up to you what you're going to do. If you did have a fixed rate, man, I love you. You're doing great. You listened to me. You listened to somebody else who had the same idea. I think it's a great idea. So if you were going to be buying a house right now, I would not be buying a house. I'd be waiting. The great deals happen when there's like blood on the streets, right? When there's lots of foreclosures out there. I watched the foreclosures around. In Markham, there's like 1, in Vaughan, there's like 2. There's nothing. So the shock in the prices that we're seeing already are just because there's a lot of homes on the market and because new buyers cannot qualify. That's it. It has nothing to do with people can't afford the payments yet. When that hits the market, then we're going to see some real action. So that's when I'm going to be ready to be buying some homes at really, really good deals. That's what I think everyone should be doing. So use this time to build up some knowledge, build up a company maybe, and open up a holding company or whatever you're going to do and be ready to buy those properties when the time is right. That's what I would be doing. In the meantime, the only thing that I think that is of great deals right now is bulk silver. I love silver. It's amazing. Silver is used in electric vehicles and it's used in all electronics, right? Just a little bit of it, but they need it anyway. And prices have fallen like 30% on this stuff this year, and it's extraordinarily cheap when we use it to gold as a reference. So there's always a price for gold to silver ratio. When we look at that, it's the cheapest it has been in a long time. It's only ever 3 times in history hit this same price. So I love it. So that's what I would be doing right now if I were you. Anyway, if you know one person that this could help, would you please just do me a favor and send it to one person? Please remember to like and subscribe to this. It really, really helps me out in the long run. And hit that notification bell just so that you know every time I put something out there. Anyway, we really appreciate it. Stay safe. Go crush it. Make some money.